Yes everyone, that's right. The grandfather of isekai, not in just light novels, but now in anime too, returns with its second season. Some of the watchers may be confused and ask, isn't this the third one? Well, kind of and kind of not. The first season of Mushoku Tensei consisted of 23 episodes that were separated into two cores. That's right, the first one being 11 episodes, whereas the second one consisted of 12. And before we get into the video, make sure to hit that sub button and enjoy the rest. Now, as for Rudeus, our dear MCU got abandoned by Ares in the 11th episode of the second core. He ends up with an erectile dysfunction as he sets out to search for his mother, Zenith. Although after joining and adventuring for a good while, he somehow ends up with a party which consists of numerous members, one of them being a love interest for Rudeus himself. Since I haven't tried the 7th volume of the light novel, I don't know exactly what will happen in between the two, but I know that things won't end as expected for them because of Rudeus' issue. Since, as I mentioned, I haven't tried the novel, I guess this is a mystery to discover when I watch the anime myself. As for the next arc after his adventuring one, well, get ready because we're about to get an academy arc, which, contrary to most isekais, is quite interesting. And let me tell you this, the fact that Rudeus will begin to think that he might be turning gay for the talented magician, Fitz, is hilarious considering how he reacts whenever Fitz does something. Oh, and even though everyone probably knows that the silent Fitz is Sylphie, Rudeus' childhood friend, who they finally get to meet again. Rudeus being so retarded about her is because of the change in her hair color and the glasses that were always covering her eyes. Aside from that, we will get a whole new cast of interesting characters that will be part of the story in the long run. Trust me when I say it. From the 8th volume of the novel and up to the 20th, where I currently am. Probably even more till the end of the novel. The cast will consist of Linia and Porcena, who are from the same village as Gilene, who was Ares' master and even Rudeus'. But also Rudeus' student. And then we have Clit, the guy who fell for Ares back when Rudy first met his father in the first season.
Ares-san!
We've also got Zanova, the guy who saved Rudeus from Prince Pax back in Shirone Kingdom when Rudeus got caught by him, when he went to save Aisha and their mother. And then we also have Yuli, who is a slave that Rudy and Zanova bought to help with the figurine making, since Rudeus will become Zanova's master in the figurine making aspect. And then we have Fitz, or Sylphie, whom Rudeus will fall more and more for her with each passing day. We've also got Princess Ariel and Lou. Whom helped Sylphie from the teleporting incident up to this point, and even later on. And finally, there's Nanaoshi, the girl who convinced Orsted to heal Rudeus back after he drills a hole through his body. At first, the encounter for Rudeus was terrifying between the two and he ran away at his fullest. Then, after finally settling and having a talk, they develop a work relationship where Nanaoshi does magic circles and Rudeus activates them since she can't use magic. By the magic circles, Nanaoshi tries to make a teleporting one to return back to Japan. Although Rudeus helps her, because of his huge mana pool, he has no intention of trying to go back there. Later on in the Academy arc, on a joyous occasion where they celebrate about a breakthrough and drink, once Rudeus gets back, he is met with his two sisters and Rigerd. He gets to have an uncomfortable talk with Rigerd about who he married, since it wasn't Ares but Sylphie, but things are still leveled and nice. The next day, Rigerd departs. And then, about his two sisters, Aisha and Noren, Aisha is the same cheerful girl from before who shows a lot of love for Rudeus, whereas Noren, her blood sister, was distant, cold, and it took quite some time for the ice to break between Rudeus and her. Now, from now on in the video, there will be massive spoilers about the last arc of the season and the whole season overall. You still watching? If so, then get ready. After an incident in the library between Rudeus and Sylphie, Rudeus finally understands that Fitz is a woman and gets a boner. You heard me right. Rudeus' condition will be cured by someone he thinks he's a guy. Later on, after Sylphie pushes Rudeus to a corner, he finally understands Sylphie's identity by stripping her clothes, like they did back on the first season. And then after some time, Rudeus and Sylphie get married. Rudeus goes house hunting because of the saving he has, and so he can live comfortably with her. That's right, folks, RMC ain't retarded at all. He's got the money, he's got the looks, he's got the wife, he's got the family. What's worse though, is the fact that after Rudeus gets a happy life with his wives and sisters in a new home, a letter arrives from his father, notifying him of his mother's location, which was inside a dungeon in the Bagarit continent. Just before departing, Rudeus will be told by Sylphie that he will become a father, making his departing much more difficult, although he had to do it and go help his father and his crew to save his mother. Where, after a few teleporting circles, he makes his journey a bit quicker, even though he was met with a succubus and almost did it with Elena Riza. That aside, Rudeus finally meets with his father again after years and ventures into a dungeon where he gets to meet again with Roxy, who was stranded there. That's right, they meet again at Rudeus' prime, who managed to sweep her up her feet without difficulty. After all, Roxy mentioned in the first season her ideal man.
スラッと高くてでもまだ子供っぽい表情をする青年に迷宮の奥底で偶然助けられるんです
And Rudeus fills all the criteria. He's good looking, he's tall, he does adventuring, and he saves her inside a dungeon when she's in a pinch where she thinks death is the only choice. Although everything seems so positive, once they enter the dungeon again and meet up with the boss monster, who was guarding Zenith, a very important character to the plot will lose their lives in return for Zenith's rescue. I won't mention who it is that loses their life, but I can assure you that the conclusion of the second season will most definitely be beautiful, wonderful, phenomenal. Any word that signifies its worth goes to it. And the new season will begin on 2nd July and it will be over 30 episodes based on the sources that I've reached. And well, I think that's about it for this video. Y'all make sure to smash that sub button just like Rudy smashed Sylphie. And as for the ones who got spoiled accidentally, I do apologize, but as the saying goes, curiosity kills the cat. Sorry once again, come back, and goodbye.